Welcome to the Portable Classroom Max program. In this video, we are going to compare the past perfect continuous tense with the past perfect tense. Let's look at some examples below. The first two examples. When he got to the airport, the plane had already taken off. You can see that clearly the sentence that goes after when is written in the past tense, and to show that this action actually happened before the one after when, we have to use the past perfect tense. The plane had already taken off to show that this action had taken place before this action. And in the second example, when the police started to chase after him, he had been driving 200 km per hour for some time. Again, the sentence that goes after when is written in the past tense, and we use the past perfect continuous. He had been driving 200 km per hour for some time to show that this action, this continuous action, had taken place before this one. So, in another word, he had been driving 200 km per hour for some time before the police started to chase after him. But what's the difference? Now, we both know that we can use the past perfect tense and the past perfect continuous tense to talk about an action that had taken place before a past event. So what separates the first one from the second one? Now, take a look at the first one. The plane had already taken off. It's simply the statement of fact. It's not a continuous action. We do not focus on the action itself. It's not a long action. It's just a fact. So the plane had already taken off. He got to the airport late, so he was late. But in the second example, we want the listener to be aware that he had been driving 200 kilometers per hour for some times before the police started to chase after him. We want to emphasize on the action. He had been driving 200 kilometers per hour. So it's a continuous action. If we change this into he had driven 200 kilometers per hour for some times, maybe he had reached 200 km per hour only for 1 second. It's not for some time, so it's actually quite different. Let's look at the other ones. Here comes the other example. Before John was fired, he had been working there for many years. And as you can see, past tense sentence, just look at the word was, and here had been working there for many years. So again, this sentence is written in the past continuous tense. Now, what does it mean? It means that, before he was fired, he had been working there for many years. He had been working there. We want the listener to notice that he had been doing this for some time before he was fired. Again, we emphasize, we focus on the action. It's a continuous action, it's a long action, and we want the listeners to pay attention to this. Now take a look at the other one. I didn't know who she was. I had never seen her before. See, had seen her before. This is a past perfect tense. We do not want to emphasize on the action. It's just a statement of fact. I've never seen her before. No, I didn't know who she was. I've never seen it before. It's just a statement of fact. It's not a continuous action. So you know that we can both use past. We can use both past perfect and the past perfect continuous to talk about an event that had taken place before the past event. But when we use the past perfect continuous, we want to talk about the action itself. It's a long action, and it had been going on for quite some time. And also beware. You know that there are some verbs we simply do not use them with continuous tenses, with any continuous tenses. Like for example, this one. You do not use this, you do not rewrite this in the past perfect continuous because we simply don't use this, see, with continuous tenses. It's just about it's a fact. It's a statement of fact. We don't use seeing. Like I've never seen her before. We don't say that. Okay. So some verbs are not compatible with continuous tenses. All right. We can also use both past perfect tense and past perfect continuous to show cause and effect. And this is what we're going to talk about. We can use both of them to show cause, the reason, and effect, the outcome. Okay, so take a look at these two examples. Pretty easy to understand. Sam was excited because I had bought him a present. Again, this sentence is written in the past perfect tense, and this one is in past tense. Now, this is a statement of fact. Bought. We do not use buying, like I had been buying him a present. It's totally different. So we do not use past perfect continuous in this sentence. It's simply a past perfect tense sentence, and I'm just telling the listeners that I have bought him a present, and that's why he was excited about. Okay, so this is the cause, and this is the cause, and this is the effect. He was excited. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Tina was very angry because she and her boyfriend had been arguing for hours. Now, had been arguing for hours, this is past perfect continuous tense, and this is past tense. The reason why we use the past perfect continuous tense with this is because we want to emphasize on the fact, you know what, they have been arguing for hours. It had been going on for quite some time. That is why Tina was very angry right now. If I had written this in the past perfect tense, I have no way of knowing how long and why she was so angry. The reason why she was so angry is because they have been arguing for a long time, and it was tiring. Okay, so that's why we use the past perfect continuous tense. So if you're interested in knowing more about the past perfect and the past perfect continuous, please visit www.theportableclassroom.blogspot.tw.